You don't need to act happy or sad, just act like yourself. If there's any questions you don't want to answer, feel free to move on. Okay, here we go. Are you afraid to die?
Yes. I'm afraid to die because I very much like being alive. I've I've had a lot of different thoughts about what comes after death in my life. I've gone through a lot of different phases, um, and I'm always wowed when I see what looks like death. When a caterpillar goes into cocoon and it looks like death, but then emerges as something completely different as far as a creature goes, and when winter comes and you think, oh my gosh, all the trees are dead, and then the spring comes and there's new birth. Um, so in that way, I think that life and death are kind of course, linked in some wild cycle. So I think the story kind of continues, that things happen. What do I experience after death? Well, I don't think Owen will experience anything after death, is my guess, if I had to guess. Um, and I'd say that with your first question, I'm scared of that, but I'm also, there's a little bit of, I'm a little bit okay with it. I don't know. I probably haven't spent enough time with it. I, if I had to define myself religiously, I was once asked that, and I called myself a shruggist because basically it was like, I don't know. I'm definitely, I've come to realize, a very religious person. Like I love reading different scriptures, different religious histories. I love going to different places of worship and everything. I don't subscribe to any one dogma. I don't I don't consider myself a member of any particular denomination or religion. Um, so I guess, what am I? Maybe I'm just um, I'm religiously loose. I religiously sleep around. Do I do not think I believe in an afterlife. I I don't necessarily think everything ends, but the sort of personality, which is Owen, which is how I usually experience the world, I think that personality ends. So that personality won't go on, and I find that sad because I'm attached to it. If pressed, I would say yes, I believe in God, but I don't. I no longer know what I mean by the word God. I know a lot of what I don't mean. Like, I don't mean an old man in the sky, or a wrathful God that needs a blood sacrifice of his son, or he's going to doom his creatures. But I do have this sort of sense of whatever it is that connects humanity in kind of a magic kind of way, whatever it is that sort of vibrates through the world and the universe and makes it beautiful. There's something wild that, when I see some picture that we've managed to get light years away of a galaxy, and we're able to put it onto our screens and look at it, and for some reason we find it beautiful, like it is beautiful. So how is it that beauty exists scattered throughout the universe? There's something to that makes me think of something that I would call God. We tend to think of forever or eternity. We think of it as like this, but much, much more. Like forever is endless years. But eternity is something, it's not more time, it's outside of time in that sort of way. And so it occurred to me, like, if you really did want to live forever, it wouldn't be living for more years. It would be, maybe, it would be being perfectly present in one moment. Like, there's something, I think, there's some kind of truth in the idea that eternity can be found in a moment. That the infinite is hidden inside the finite. That if we could only breathe one breath, if we could live one moment fully present, we would have enough forever in that moment. I don't know.